What's up, Trojan family? Welcome to the USC LAFB show here on the LAFB network. We are Los Angeles Sports. This is your daily dose of USC Trojans news. Hope everyone is having a fantastic weekend. It's been a hot one in LA. Our heat wave. We had such a mild July. We knew it was coming. I always tell all my friends that don't live in LA that, September and October are actually our hottest months, which is, we're complaining, but it gets a little annoying, right? Like October, you're ready for football weather, some chili, throw on the sweatshirt. And October is always like 90s every day, and Thanksgiving's like 80. But anyway, hope everyone's enjoying it. Beach weather, which has been great. So I was actually just last weekend camping out in Malibu on the sand, our favorite beach camping spot. Can't go wrong with it. So hope you're all enjoying it as well. No really recruiting news. As I said, after the Brett Kolejay commitment, that would be the last recruit that the team would be pursuing until fall began, and they'll leave those. They have 3 spots still open that they'll basically evaluate for those 3 spots throughout the rest of the fall season. So any updates, visitors, guys they're pursuing, obviously the 2027 class is going to start being a thing. I don't think I'm ready for 2027 recruiting yet, but that will become a thing. So I'll obviously be jumping on here all the time with all the 27 stuff. We'll have our 27 tracker up on LAFBnetwork.com, plus just all of our recruiting news at LAFBnetwork.com you can find. So I'll keep you guys posted on everything. Obviously, my kind of daily shorter updates are very recruiting specific. As I'm sure you've noticed, we've got a lot of the shows back. Tim doing our live call-in show Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Pacific. The coach is back after a long hiatus, so he'll be back for the season with Madman, myself kind of spitting in between there as well. So I've got a lot of USC programming for you, which is great. But when I do these, typically they'll be recruiting focused, but still with some updates like I'm going to do today. So I've been at just about every single fall camp practice for USC. It's been awesome just that football is back. See the guys out there, the excitement, tons of excitement around this team. But unfortunately, Prophet Brown went down for an injury. Yesterday at practice, he was seen in crutches. So I'm assuming it happened in a prior practice Lincoln Riley said it was a non-contact injury, so we don't know exactly how it occurred. But unfortunately, he is going to miss a good amount of time. Coach Riley basically said he's going to for sure miss the beginning of the season. Didn't give an exact timeline. Said he was confident he'll be able to return this season. Does that mean end of the season, middle of the season, after the first 3 games? So looks like they expect him back, but we have no idea when. So huge loss. Prophet Brown, just an awesome human being. I feel so bad for him. He's been working his tail off. Been a true Trojan, been here forever, earning his spot, and was, in my opinion, was going to be the starting nickel corner this year. I think he had earned his way onto the starting role. He was getting rave reviews from the coaches, from his teammates. I remember talking to Trevon Reed at USC Media Day, and he's saying, if there's a guy you want to emulate in terms of locker room culture, ability, leadership, Prophet Brown was that guy. So obviously he's still there. He can still embody that, but he won't be that kind of general on the field. So huge loss for the Trojans. So I wanted to get on here and kind of project who I think will be the starting defensive backfield. And obviously it's very hard to project right now because, and this is a good thing, because of how deep this room is. It has not been this deep in quite some time. Last year was actually pretty deep as well. But this year is extremely deep with talent when you have some of the transfers that are coming in, when you have now the freshmen last year that are going to be redshirt freshmen or sophomores, and plus some of the returning starters. So, it's a deep room. But I'm going to give it my go. Give it my go on who we think. So when you look at safeties, again, loaded safety room. But I think it's obvious. Kamari Ramsey, he's the leader of this defense. Maybe the best player on this, you could even say entire team. He's probably got the best, you could argue him or one of the receivers, Mekhi Lemon or Jacoby Lane, of being like a first-round pick in this upcoming draft. So no surprise, Kamari Ramsey. I think what's great about him and what he fits so well in this Dantlin system is, to me, he is Derwin James. If you watch any Chargers football, if you watch Derwin James, he's a chess piece all over the field. Used as a center fielder, used up in the box, used in the slot, sometimes as nickel, as the star, as the dime, as the money, whatever you want to call all these different terms. But Kamari Ramsey will be used all over. So he's your clear-cut, absolute starting safety. And again, I want to be clear. I'm going to name who I think is the starters, but I truly believe we'll see 8 to 9 guys rotated throughout the game. I just think they're that deep at the position. They want to keep guys fresh. Doug Belk, I talked to him about this, Coach Belk, about the ability to be able to rotate guys so it keeps guys fresh, keeps guys engaged, and always, putting guys in the best situations. You're not on the field getting, running up and down the field exhausted. You can keep guys fresh because you feel confident in everyone and their abilities. So I'm going to name 5 starters, 2 safeties, 3 corners, but I believe there'll be 8 or 9 that play on game days. That's how deep this room is. So Kamari Ramsey, clear. I think the transfer from NC State, Bishop Fitzgerald, is beginning to establish himself as the next starter next to Ramsey. Really love what he's brought to the team, the tenacity, the physicality. I think he was a really good safety at NC State last year, so that was a really big transfer they were able to get, and just comes in with a load of experience. So I really like the prospect of Fitzgerald, and I think he'll be kind of your starter. But again, there'll be guys rotating in and out. But I think him and Ramsey are your 2 starting safeties. Now, 2 guys I want to mention, and there's others too, like Marquise Gallegos I think is having a good camp. But the 2 I want to really mention is Christian Pierce, for sure, will be getting playing time this season. So while I'm not saying, again, this is me just projecting. I'm just predicting based on what I've seen, who I've talked to. So this is not an official depth chart. USC has not released a depth chart yet. So, but Christian Pierce, while I'm not saying he's a starter, he's going to play a lot. I mean, the dude is highly regarded, tons of praise from everyone. We've seen him grow throughout the years at SC. He was obviously very involved in the special teams. He's now matured from just that big hitting safety to be a little bit more of a tactician. So I think Christian Pierce is one. The other one that this dude just keeps getting brought up is the transfer Kennedy Urlacher out of Notre Dame. When he transferred over, he's a young cat, right? True freshman last year. So it was seen as this is a young guy that can come in and grow in the program and potentially be a starter one day, or at least an impact player, and he can play some special teams. Everyone's talking like this guy is wowing people. So I don't know if he's ready to start in this system yet, but I think he's going to get reps, real game day reps, as he did a little bit at Notre Dame. I mean, he had some impact plays at Notre Dame. And so aside from special teams, this is a guy that I think could actually come in and make an impact as a safety or as a nickel at times within this defense. So keep your eye on Kennedy Urlacher. That seems to be someone that everyone keeps bringing up, and is one of the real good transfers they got. Corner, obviously, is a little more challenging just because safety's super deep. I keep saying that, but the corner room is so deep. When you look at some of the transfers they brought in, you look at the returning guys from last year, plus this new freshman crop, this 25 class. There's a lot of talented freshmen, which, you don't always want to start a freshman, but if they're good enough, they're going to do it. So, to me, from what I've seen, DeCarlos Nicholson is like kind of a shoe-in starter on the outside. I think his length at 6'3", his experience, his leadership, obviously year 2 in the system since he was here last year. All of that, just coupled with how the teammates think of him and all that, I think he's, as of now, 2 weeks into fall camp or whatever, 8 practices in, is your clear-cut, one of your outside starting corners. I think the other outside starting corner, in my opinion, is Chasen Johnson. Transfer from UCF. Obviously, Trevon Reed, that's his guy. Talks to him like he's family. Had the whole transfer saga, but hey, he's here now. He's a super talented guy. Played, 14 games last year as I believe a true freshman. So clearly an extremely talented, gifted player. So I think he's going to be your other outside guy. In the slot now, where I had Prophet Brown starting, I'm actually going to throw out Marcellus Williams as your starting slot. I think when you look at his size, being that kind of 5'11", he can certainly play on the outside. And I think I talk all the time about versatility with these guys and how, Coach Lynn views them as defensive backs, not necessarily corners, nickel corners, safeties. They're DBs that can go all over the field. So this is not saying Marcellus Williams is only a nickel corner. I'm sure a lot of people out there, he played outside and this and that, and he can certainly play on the outside. But you want your best 3 guys out there. You want your best 5 in the defensive backs. You find a way to get them out there. And I think Marcellus Williams will be your starting nickel. We'll see if that changes, but I think he'll be in that spot. Obviously, R.J. Harvey is a name that everyone's been talking about since he transferred to San Jose State. Just because I don't have him right now slated as a starter does not mean he's not going to play. Dude is certainly going to play. Might end up being a starter. Again, this is just my prediction, so no actual foresight here. But he'll definitely absolutely play. I think redshirt freshman Isaiah Rubin is a name to keep an eye on. Doug Belk has talked a lot about him and his growth within the system, and so not a name a lot of people are talking about, but I think he's one that you could certainly see out there. True freshman Alex Graham is another guy that is just having a fantastic fall camp. And so I would not be surprised at all about him getting some reps in real game situations as a true freshman. I don't know if he's ready there to be the starter yet, but certainly is going to get some reps. And lastly, don't sleep on Braylon Conley, who redshirt freshman, was a true freshman last year out of Texas. Another guy grew within the system, has had a fantastic fall camp. And someone that I could see him even battling for that starting spot. I think he's had that good of a fall camp. So I think you look at Jason Johnson, DeCarlos Nicholson, Marcellus Williams, potentially your 3 starters, but then R.J. Harvey, Isaiah Rubin, Braylon Conley, and Alex Graham, all 4 of those guys could either be the starters also or will be in that rotation package, which brings you to the 9 guys, and that's not even including some of the safeties that I mentioned too. So it's a loaded room. So losing Prophet Brown is a huge loss. Fantastic player, better human being, but if you can find a silver lining, probably the deepest room if you are going to lose someone, knock on wood, I never want to say it, but if there's a room to lose someone, the defensive back room is the one that's most equipped to not really miss a beat, if that makes sense. So anyway, that's my projection. This will probably change, I'm sure. I'll be at camp all through that we're allowed to be there. So we'll kind of see if I notice any other rotations or anything like that. But and again, that's all based on all we can see is individual drills and stuff in the beginning. So we're not seeing real live personnel groupings and whatnot, but that's just kind of a feeling I get based on what I've seen on those stuff and then what I've kind of heard and just my own kind of analysis and evaluation. So let me know what you guys think. I've seen a lot over on Twitter, and I'm in other group chats of who people think are going to be the starting DBs. I'll probably do offensive line maybe next week. I know that's obviously probably the most questionable group on this entire roster, the one that fan bases are probably most uneasy about. So I'll dive in, I think, the offensive line next week and give my thoughts there. But let me know what you think about the DBs. Obviously, prayers up to Prophet Brown, but the room itself is still in a really good spot and equipped to handle a situation like this. So, as always, guys, thanks for tuning in. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. This is the USC LAFB YouTube channel. You can find all of our USC content over at LAFBnetwork.com. Make sure to become a member if you're not. Some of your membership is going to go to help benefit LA youth organizations, youth sports programs, something big on my heart. So become a member. You can become a member on the USC LAFB YouTube channel or over at LAFB Network. You can subscribe there and you get access to a bunch of other perks as well. We have merchandise if you're interested. Our shop, you can actually find it right here on the YouTube channel or go over to LAFB Network and just go to shop. And we got some cool USC merch there, some swag you can get before the season kicks off and help support the LAFB Network and all of our great people that work here. So thank you guys for always tuning in, supporting this, and as always, fight on.